Hello, it's Lori here with a quick video for my good friend Andrew. And he asked me about how to do the dog grooming problem. And I said there are two ways. One is using just math and Excel, and the other is using the Excel Goal Seek feature. So I'm going to show you both ways. First way I'm going to show you is using math. The very first thing you want to do is, with any word problem, is pull out the information from the problem. So we know that the cost of the plan that Spencer's putting together for Rob is $250 per month. We don't know how many incremental cuts there are, and we're going to try and find that out. We know that Rob charges $50 per cut and that he has a cost of goods sold, a variable cost of just $2. So his gross profit per cut is $50. You'll notice that I am employing a technique that I use personally when at the office, which is I put all of my fixed or inputs, my numbers that I'm putting into the system from the word problem in this case, in orange. Then I'm drawing a blue line, and everything below the blue line is a formula. So it's all based on the inputs above, and I never ever put in a fixed number below the blue line. All right, so going back, starting again, our cost of our plan per month is $250. Spencer's going to spend that on social media. We know we can charge $50 a cut. We have $2 of cost of goods sold, so our incremental gross profit per cut is $48. We also know that we're going to have an employee, Deb, that we're going to bring on board to do these new cuts, and that the van is going to cost about $800 per month in gas and other expenses. So our total cost per month is going to be the total of the plan. So let me show you that right up here. It's going to be B9, which is the employee cost, B10, the gas cost, and B2, our plan cost. And so that is $3,050. We already calculated our gross profit per cut, $50 coming in minus $2 going out in variable costs for each cut. And our question is, how do we get to the break even number of cuts we have to sell, new ones, incremental ones, in order to make this a good project? And the math part, pretty easy. You just take your total costs, divided it by your incremental gross profit per cut, and you'll get your number of cuts needed. And in this particular case, it is 63.54. Now, of course, we can't cut half of a dog's hair and charge them half the amount. So the answer would actually be 64. But see, I just broke the rules because I typed in a number below the blue line. So we're not going to do that. Instead, we will use the rounding feature and round this number up by taking away the decimals, and that will be our answer. And we can go ahead and put that in yellow. That's our answer. So if, for example, the cost of the plan changed and he wanted to spend $350, we would now need to sell 66 additional cuts. But let's take that back to the original number, 250. You see how when I change something up in the orange, it automatically changes below the blue line, and I don't have to worry about what else happens. All right, now that's part A. 64 is the answer. Now let's do part B using just math. If we can charge $60 for grooming, so we're going to change this upward one, and can we, how many do we have to sell? Answer automatically. Did you see that? So let's go from 50. Watch this change. It's so fun. Clearly, I'm an Excel nerd. Changes to 53, and that would be our break even. And then finally, let's go back to 50. And he says, revise his plan. He thinks he can get $65 per dog. So let's go ahead and change that to 65. But he needs to increase his budget for his social media plan to 400. So we're going to change both of those, and we get to 51. It automatically ripples right through. So that's my favorite part about building a really good Excel spreadsheet. If you do it right, it works for you over and over and over again. So that's how we did that part. Now let me show you how to do it in GoalSeek. And I hid this part so as not to distract you. So I'm going to unhide it. All right. This is another way using GoalSeek. The cost of the plan, all of these remain the same, except that we're going to start with 0 as our incremental cuts to begin with. Our price per cut, we're still going back to the original of 50. Cost of goods sold, or the variable cost for this, is $2 per cut. Our employees still cost the same. Our gas still costs the same. So our incremental gross profit per cut is the same as when this was $50. And let's change this back to 250. So we're doing a apples to apples comparison. So our incremental gross profit per cut, we don't know our incremental gross profit per month. It's a formula, and it is simply the quantity sold, which we've put in as 0, times the gross profit per cut, 48. So you can see that formula right up here, E13 times E3. But right now with 0 in there, because we don't know what the number is, we're going to set it at 0. Our fixed costs per month are $2,800. Our planned costs per month are $250. And those are just formulas, adding these two things and pulling down that number. So our incremental operating profit, if we don't sell any additional cuts, is we're going to lose $3,000 a month, $3,050 a month. So what we do is we go to data, what if analysis, and we go to goal seek. And it pops up this tiny little pop-up menu. And it says we want to set what cell to the value of 0. Well, we want our incremental, we want to know our break even. So we're going to set our incremental operating profit to, we're going to do that, to 0 by changing, what cell are we changing? We're going to change our quantity of incremental cuts. I'm going to hit OK, and it's going to populate, and there's our answer right there. You see how that works? So it automatically calculated that 63.54 incremental cuts were needed. Notice that's exactly the same number that we had over here before we did the rounding. So we can do OK. Let's go ahead and copy that over because we have a couple other scenarios that we want to look at. All right. Let's go ahead and reset this to 0. Let's do another goal seek. What if? Goal seek. And we want to set our incremental, oh, let's do our new numbers. We're going to charge $60 per grooming. So there, I've changed that to scenario B, which is $60 per grooming. We're going to go to our what if scenario, goal seek, our little pop-up, move them off to the side so we can work with it. We want to set our incremental profit cell to 0 by changing our quantity of incremental cut cell. We hit OK, and it's going to tell us 52.58 or 53 cuts. And let's do that one more time. And I'm not going to do the answer to this one because that would be give you all the answers on the quiz, but I am going to show you how to do it one more time with something different. So in this particular case, he takes it to 400 and this price to 65, but let's say that he takes it to 500 and we leave the price at 60. We go to what if, goal seek, and set the cell operating profit to 0 by changing, be sure you've moved down to the next thing, this quantity. Oops. And that's not going to work. It's going to be very unhappy. Cancel. I hit the wrong number. I hit the wrong box. Let's do that again. All right, so we're going to set this cell, which is our incremental operating profit, to 0 by changing the quantity of cuts, not the price per cut. And it comes up with 57. Hint, that is not the answer to that question. Now, did you see how cool it was, though, that we could say, all right, let's say we think the maximum we can do is 50 additional cuts, and we don't know what the price should be. All right, so let's go ahead and put our plan in at 250 again. We know we can do 50 cuts. That's what we believe we can do. What should we charge in order to be able to make sure we break even? Well, the goal seek does that too. So we can say we want to set our operating profit to 0 by changing, and instead of the quantity, we're going to change the price per cut. Then we're going to hit OK, and it tells us we should charge $63 per cut if we think we can only do 50 more cuts, and our plan costs $250. So that's it for this video. Be sure and text me if you have any questions. And thank you, Andrew, for suggesting I do this video. Ciao.